What would be the most effective conversion rate to do this in category where I'm not burning $300 a day, or is this the only way? I noticed my PPCs did okay in May, but all of a sudden, June 1st, I haven't had too many sales. And with ads still spending the same amount, any ideas? Spend is consistent, but sales are down.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what you've changed, if you've changed
Mm.
anything. If you were seeing high costs, you dialed some bids back or your bidding strategies back, or it could just be, the suggested bid range, for example, has changed and you may have been bidding at like an average of like $1.50, but now that average has gone up because it's more competitive now. I would look at what you changed or what you need to change. And sometimes just testing and iterating. The one thing I would always recommend though, and especially with the new product, I guess this wasn't made clear if this is a new product or not, but you typically will never see a change overnight. It's a hard answer, honestly, but that's always how I approach it. I'll never make a change and judge it with less than 2 weeks of data, essentially.
It's a dynamic environment. Your competitors are making changes and you don't see their changes necessarily taking effect right away. So
Yeah.
there's all these moving pieces. And I would do what Jake said earlier, go look at it on mobile, look at it
Mhm.
on desktop and see what you find there that might be different. And some of it is just, certain products do well during certain times of the year. And so maybe you have a seasonal type product that doesn't do as well during the summer, or but it is interesting that it's still spending the money. If using a high competitive category, do I start off with 3 campaigns, exact broad phrase, $100 for each to be most effective? If using strong keywords, does that mean I'm burning through $300 a day? What would be the most effective conversion rate to do this in category where I'm not burning $300 a day, or is this the only way?
You don't need to spend $100 per campaign, especially in the beginning.
Mhm.
I would dial it way back and wait until you see that you're out of budget. And if that's happening early on during the day and your ACOS is good enough, then you could dial it up and keep spending more and more. But if you start maybe with like $15 a day, $20 a day, and you're not spending enough, that's fine. But let's say you have $1,000 in advertising budget. I wouldn't think about it in a way like be very conservative with that money because it will go quick. I would start really conservative with the budgets or bids, I'd be a little more aggressive and then just wait till I sell out. I wouldn't spend $300 a day just starting out.
The thing that stuck out to me was the competitive keywords.
Yeah.
So if you look up markers on Amazon, it is completely different than if you look up, like, let's say, dry erase marker or purple dry erase marker that I'm holding
Yes.
here. Are you going after the right keyword? Because too often people, look and see like, oh, there's this high search volume for markers. So I'm going to go after
Mhm.
markers and I'm going to be rich. Don't start off at markers if markers is not the right intent for your
Yes.
product.
We show people how to find the best keywords, like the ones with the highest search volume and the long tail keywords. But what you want to do is like the opposite of this. You want to find those really low to like medium level competition keywords or search volume keywords. And that's your battleground for a few months. And then
Mhm.
only until your listing is, I would say, this is all arbitrary, but like 50 to 100 reviews at minimum, can you start kind of leveling up and competing with those more competitive keywords?
Start where you're at, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be the big keyword. I have Jungle Scout and Helium 10. What should I be looking for keywords that are high, moderate, and easy? Which kind of goes back into finding the
Mhm.
right keyword. So now we're helping this person with the strategy, which is PPC related, which I love this feature more. But I see the results are different from Helium 10. Why? If you have different tools and they have different results, how do you decide what you should be looking at?
Why are there different results in both? Different learning models is the best way of putting it. Each company is going to have their own data models, their own
Mm.
engineers who have learned throughout the years. If Amazon's showing this, here's what it means. And they're using real data essentially to inform their models. Jungle Scout is one of the most accurate tools for product and keyword research related data. And that's because we were the first to debut and we have an insane amount of engineers that are still on and they have all
Mm.
this learning and this experience from the early days of Amazon, essentially. It's almost like ChatGPT right now. Think where they're going to be at in 10 years because everyone's using them versus a new and upcoming or another OpenAI tool. And so that's really long way to answer this question, but just different data models. You want to choose one essentially. Ideally, it's good to use both and then marry them into one sheet. But if you're going to look at search volume or any data that one tool has, or really both tool has, but the numbers are different, you want to use just one because it's all going to be directional data. For example, if you're looking at the term washable pee pads for dogs, Jungle Scout may say it's 200,000 because that's what our data suggests, and Helium 10 may say it's 100,000. Whatever it truly is, it doesn't matter because they're both telling you that this is a high search volume keyword and this other keyword the second keyword is lower or higher than that. So
Mhm.
I guess the best way of answering this is to use one tool directionally, and then you could use both if you want like a bigger list or a broader, more diverse list of keywords. In Jungle Scout, to help you find like what you should be looking for, specifically to find the high, moderate, and easy keywords, is two things. One of these is going to be a manual approach. The first one that is automated for you is using a filter like minimum keywords, for example.
Mm.
In Jungle Scout's Keyword Scout tool, which is our keyword research tool, you can use like 4 as the minimum, and that'll help you find those long tail keywords. The idea there is long tail keywords will typically have more intent behind them. Kevin, to your example of instead of marker, purple expo marker or purple dry
Dry
erase
erase.
marker.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Like that's a very high intent keyword. So using 3 or 4 as a minimum, the keywords in the phrase, that's going to help you. And that's an automated way of condensing a big list down to like easier or moderate keywords. And the manual part is what we talked about earlier is actually typing that in on Amazon. If you're on a desktop, maybe go to an incognito browser. So it's not using your previous
Ah, that's another
buying.
good tip.
Your search results are going to be different from my search results because we're different people. We buy different things. We have different interests, and then see what products are showing up. See if those are really going to be competitive products for your product. If your product's $30 and all the products on the page, or at least at the top of the page, are like $10. As a
Mm.
customer, you probably wouldn't even scroll down and click the product that's 2 times the price. So do a little bit of manual work with those long tail keywords and see what your competition looks like and what product Amazon is suggesting on the search page.
Stop Googling your Amazon questions when you can just ask them live to us. So join us on Tuesdays for our AMA, where we bring on PPC experts, SEO experts, a variety of different experts from around the Amazon business. We're going to help you take your business to the next level. We're here to help you. So make sure you can pick our brains. Let's come hang out.